Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by. So, my people, it's no longer news that Igbos have been marginalized in Nigeria. Like the one that is getting out of hand right now is those living in Lagos. So, right now, nobody will give an Igbo man or woman apartment in Lagos. So, before any agent can rent any apartment for you, they'll first of all ask you, I hope you are not an Igbo man. So this is really getting out of hand. So that is the reason why yesterday the president of Ohanaeze Ndigbo Chief Iwuan came out and lamented, also blast federal government how they are treating Igbos in Nigeria, especially in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. You guys know that many people that did the same thing that Nnamdi Kanu did, like self-determination, fighting for his people and all that. Someone like a Sowore and also Igbo, those people, they are free right now, but Nnamdi Kanu is still in DSS custody just because he is an Igbo man. So my people, let me allow you guys to listen to Barrister Darlington and hear what he said concerning this matter. But my people, before then, if today is your first time, don't forget to subscribe and please share this video so that other people can get the opportunity to watch as well. By doing that, you are supporting me to bring more updates to you guys. So my people, let's go ahead and listen to Barrister Darlington and I will be right back.
The Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide has accused the federal government of marginalizing Igbos in Nigeria. The President General of the group, Chief Nwuayanwu, made the allegation in a statement released yesterday. He listed some of the points to support his allegation to include the reduced number of states in the southeast compared to other regions in the country, list number of ministerial slots even against the federal character principle, the continued incarceration of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, and destruction of Igbo businesses and property. Nwuayanwu also praised the leader of Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, Chief Edwin Clark, as a respected voice of the region, adding that the elder statesman who has been fighting injustice is mandated to speak for southern leaders. He said, and I quote, "Southeast is the only geopolitical zone in Nigeria that has got only 5 states, whereas other zones have between 6 and 7 states. 48 ministers were appointed by Mr. President. By law of federal character, Southeast should have 8 ministers, but we have only 5 ministers, while some other zones have up to 10. Master Nnamdi Kanu has been incarcerated for many years, and every effort to plead his release met with failure, while many other Nigerians arrested and accused of similar offense have all been released. All the efforts to develop railway infrastructure in Nigeria, nothing was done in the southeast, in spite of the fact that our people are traders who travel a lot. According to the Federal Character Commission, the presidency is zoned to rotate between north and south instead of rotating through 6 geopolitical zones. This has made it impossible for Southeast to produce a president when 2 large zones come together to deny the zone the opportunity." One of the questions we want to ask is concerning what Ohanaeze Ndigbo chairman, that is Nwuayanwu, actually disclosed concerning the marginalization of the Igbos. Barrister Darlington, we have you back on the line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, son. How are you?
I am fine. Barrister Darlington, it's a Friday, but there are quite a lot of issues going on within the Nigerian polity. And of course, this is not the first time that the Igbos have been clamoring for equality when it comes to decision making, when it comes to employment opportunities in public sector, when it comes to equal access, in every location within Nigeria. And one of the persons who is actually making that statement is Emmanuel Nwuayanwu. As you do know, he is the president of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, and he's saying that the federal government is marginalizing Igbos in Nigeria. He listed several instances, which include, according to him, the continued incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu, despite the fact that others too who were alleged to have committed such atrocities based on what the federal government is alleging have been freed. He's also talked about the zonal angle, the zonal partition, and he says that even railway infrastructure in Nigeria, nothing has been done. The South is your political zone in Nigeria, according to what he stated, has gotten only 5 states, whereas other zones have between 6 and 7 states. Now, Barrister Darlington, I also bring to your notice that right here in Lagos, that marginalization has been observed. Quite a lot of Igbo residents have complained as to how they've been treated, especially when they want to get accommodation in certain locations. The owners of those properties, if they're of a different ethnic group, literally disclose to their agents that they do not want any individual from the southeast. And it also occurs when it also comes to public employment opportunities in public sectors. What do you have to say about this?
In fact, it is terrible. It is terrible. And I've been asking the question, what wrong did the Igbos do? Esther, this started with 1966 coup. You can see why you should not allow yourself to be used to play propaganda game. Recent information, recent literature, recent discussions have proved that coup was not caused by the Igbos.
When you say propaganda game, why did you make that phrase? Why you should not be used for propaganda game? What does that mean?
It is because the people who committed that crime cleverly shifted it to the Igbos. Kaduna Zobu, who led that coup, he's not an Igbo man, he's from Delta. He was groomed in the house of Saduna. Saduna took him as his own son because he never had any. So that boy grew up in his court. That's why his name, Kaduna, is included in his name. The people who are playing this propaganda game forgot all these things. They forgot it too.
But Barrister, let me ask you something. Why is, according to the Federal Character Commission, why is the presidency zoned to rotate between North and South instead of rotating through 6 geopolitical zones? So must it be that power must be resident within just the North and the South? So let's say, for example, the South or the Southwest, takes leadership now, and in the next 4 years, again, it remains in this region. It means in 2027 or after 2027, it will go back to the North. So that's the continuous rotation. That's how it's going to be.
Until the rotational principle is enshrined in our constitution. All this thing that we are doing now is a gentleman agreement too. It's not as if it's written in the constitution. No. It's a gentleman agreement that when anybody from the North to rule, the next person must come from the South.
Mm.
And the South means Southwest, Southeast, and South-South.
So you're saying it was an agreement that was had in verbally. It's not within the Constitution concerning the rotation of power.
It is not written anywhere in our laws. It's not. It's a gentleman agreement. Meanwhile, the Southwest has taken the lion's share.
Mm.
They have been military head of state, they have been president, and they have been president again. The South have been there in the name of Goodluck Jonathan.
And South is nothing.
But the Igbo man, with all his contribution and diligence, each time he come up, something will happen. Something will definitely happen.
Very, very heartbreaking, honestly.
Told us in one of his interviews, because when Shagari was in office in 1983, the agreement was after Shagari, Ekweme will take over from him, being his vice. And what's his name? Buhari said it that, one of the reasons why they did that is that they didn't want an Igbo man to take over from Shagari. He said it. He was not even apologetical about it.
Now, wow.
The question is, what did the Igbo do wrong? Because we refuse to be intimidated. Is that not the only reason? Is that not the only reason? Any other thing?
Pastor Darlington, let's
somebody, you don't like somebody, tell us what you have done wrong. Look at what the North have been doing to Nigeria since they came in. Look at what the Fulanis have been doing to Nigeria since they came into this country. Look at what they have been doing. If you want to criminalize everybody, is it not these Fulanis who have made life uncomfortable for everybody? Yes, sir. You can see why propaganda, don't allow it. Whenever they want to put you down, rise up and challenge it. We kept quiet for too long over this media barrage against us.
Exactly.
We kept quiet for too long. That is why it has become like a tradition. It has become like a tradition. Somebody said that the Tafa Balewa caused Igbos. I said how, when, where? All these are propaganda. We now know that Mr. Balewa, nobody even, no bullet entered into his body. He died of asthma because of an asthmatic patient. When the commotion was going on in Lagos during the coup, the man fell down and died. Eh? These are part of the propaganda, Esther. Nobody has been able to debunk it over the years, and it has continued. You can imagine. These other people that have made life uncomfortable, please, who is supposed to be criminalized in this country, if you look at it properly? Esther, since 1960, or since Nigeria began, have you had any time the Igbos rioted and they were killing non-indigenous in their region?
Barrister Darlington, let me come in here because we're short of time. So there has been the clamor for restructuring. There's also been the implementation of the Ohanaeze report. That's the conference that took place during the era of, or rather the tenure of former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Why has that particular recommendation given on that report, why has it been delayed? We thought this particular administration would fast track its implementation of the Ohanaeze report. We just had the announcement of some certain ministries, departments, and agencies that they will be, collapsed together, so to reduce the cost in governance. But since then, we haven't heard officially what ministries have been collapsed to when. We haven't heard further statements on consideration of some implementation or recommendation being stipulated in the Ohanaeze report. So are we saying that it may never ever happen?
Esther, those who own Nigeria, I think they have want Tinubu not to go further with that.
Barrister Darlington, I'm not going to agree with what you just said. Nobody owns Nigeria, and Nigeria belongs to every one of us. Nobody can claim to own this country.
Esther, please, let us call it spade.
Exactly.
Esther, there are people who can commit all manner of crime in this country.
Is it not
go free
for us to start calling them out and begin to use platforms like this to denounce them in continuing with that manner by saying they own Nigeria? They do not own Nigeria unless we allow them feel like they own Nigeria.
Are you serious? Okay, when they wanted to relocate some ministries from Abuja to Lagos, the Ministry of Aviation and that of CBN, what happened? Please, can you tell me what happened?
They made threats, but I think it's within the president's jurisdiction the right to do whatever it is he wants to do without fear or recourse to anybody or any ethnic group. And like we said, no particular ethnic group can disclose that they own this country. They do not own this country. We need to continue to emphasize that they do not own this country. We cannot continue to put it on the platter that they own this country. They cannot own this country. Whoever these supposed individuals are who claim, according to you, that they own this country. But coming back to the matter of discourse, the marginalization against the Igbos that Nwuayanwu is actually talking about, at what point will this matter be addressed?
Esther, maybe the day they got tired of misrule in Nigeria, they will now say, okay, who will help us to repair this thing? Because as I'm talking to you today, and just like I discussed in that studio this morning, we are owing over 120 trillion naira in debt, and it's still counting. So how can you make progress when you have people who just come to loot the economy? Maybe one day they will realize that the Igbos, they know how to make wealth. They know how to keep wealth. They know how to create wealth. They will not say, give us somebody. Maybe that is the only time. But right now they are not tired of looting.
Barrister Darlington, before I let you go, because we have a program coming up, I want to ask you a final question.
Hold on. I must put it out here. Somebody came to rule this country for 8 years, and when he was leaving, he told us that he collected 23 trillion naira from CBN, that we should put it in our national debt and pay it. And he left. I just walked away.
And no one is asking questions.
Nobody that can do it in this country. And nobody has called his name up till now. Please, can you tell me? So what are you now saying?
Barrister Darlington.
One person that can
Barrister Darlington,
Chai, my people, a lot is really happening in this country called Nigeria. It is good that the president of Ohanaeze Ndigbo Chief Iwuan came out and tell the federal government what Igbos are going through in this country called Nigeria. Because for long now, we'll be hearing that it was Igbos that plotted the coup that happened in Nigeria. And this is the narrative they put out there. That's why you see some of the Yorubas as well as Hausas, you know, have this hatred towards Igbo. And that is the reason why also it is very difficult for Igbo man to become a president of Nigeria. So my people, that is it. I would love you guys to leave your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about what Barrister Darlington said here? And also, if today is your first time, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Goodbye for now.